Says we're
Says
live.
we're live.
Uh-oh.
Oh, now we might be
Now see if
Yep.
you can click on expand. Ah! You guys!
Don't do that unless we're live. Oh,
We
there
are live.
Okay, I know, but
Oh,
it said that last time too. Nothing happened. Oh my goodness. Always something. So if you guys are joining us, you missed all the fireworks.
tell them about the coffee.
I put my coffee on the table. We couldn't figure out. We clicked live. We couldn't figure out why we weren't live, and then I proceeded to. I don't know what I did, but all of a sudden my coffee was all over the place.
Let me tell you what she did. Something she never does. Because she's not clumsy like me. I'll tell you what she did. She knocked her coffee off on the table onto her feet. Which is probably the first time I've ever in my life seen her do such a thing.
Why are you sitting so close to me? We got all this couch over here. You're messing up our signs. Get away from me. You're gonna love what we're gonna be talking about in just a few minutes.
First, we have to clean up the spilled coffee.
Do we want to let's do our little how we want to start all the time.
Okay.
Welcome
to the Besties Breakfast Club. Yay!
So, Cookie,
Yes.
will you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to our very first Coffee with the Besties. As you can see, it's going to be very entertaining. But would you do me a favor?
Uh-huh.
While I go and get me some more coffee, will you talk to our people for me?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be right back. You can talk about anything you want. Well, just don't talk about me.
I can talk about anything I want, she said. How you guys doing? So we're very excited about doing this because, as you know, or maybe you don't, that we started the Besties thing back in 2016 when I moved from LA to Texas and Texas back home, so we could be intentional. Why do I keep saying that? Intentional. I know what the word is. So we could be intentional about getting together. And here we are. It's 2024, almost 25. And we are getting serious about doing our besties, because it's the time that we get to just really connect with each other, and we love it. And we are both coffee drinkers, except we only like to drink Alibaba's coffee. I'll tell you something I hate: when you see people online and they have spilled stuff all over their coffee mugs, because it might look fine to you when you're in your house by yourself, but it looks weird on screen. It looks kind of gross, actually. So, how are you guys doing this morning? Is anyone here with us? I can't tell because I left my iPhone. I suppose I could look it up and see if you guys are here on my laptop, because here's Alibaba. I'm gonna go get my phone.
Okay.
My iPhone. So
I had to grab it.
Who's with us?
Grab a towel to put underneath my feet because it's all wet down here. And there's one thing that I hate is to be smelling. Oh, our sign is kind of crooked, isn't it? Is to be smelling coffee, the stale coffee smell all day long. So I'm gonna have to really clean this up when we're done. So sorry about that, you guys. We'll be a little bit better next time. We'll try anyway. So we are so excited. I know Kiki just said that. And she went to get her phone. I have mine here, actually. And so we can check and see if we have any comments or anybody's with us.
There's 3 people with us.
Are there?
Yay!
That's awesome.
There are 3 people.
Welcome. Do us a favor. Put... I love it.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is going to be a great day. Tell us where you're from. City, state, tell us where you're from. And also tell us how you know us. If you know
Oh,
me, tell me how you know me. If you know Cookie, tell us how you know Cookie. Where you met, anything. That'd be fun.
that's a great idea.
That's a great idea, huh, Cookie?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Oh, look at this thing up here. It says comments.
Oh.
What happens if you click on that?
I don't know. We're not clicking. We're not clicking. So did you tell them that we go to breakfast every other week?
I didn't tell him. You tell him.
We go to breakfast every other week. So we're twice a month. We're going to breakfast. And then on the other week that we're not going to breakfast, we're going to do coffee with, he's getting ready to fall again. Coffee with the Besties.
Oh.
Don't make yourself comfortable. Just be still. So you can count on seeing us on the couch, having a cup of coffee, and eventually we're going to have our Besties mugs. Right now we're not there yet, but we're getting there.
Actually, that's not exactly true.
Yeah, we do.
We do have Besties mugs. We don't like them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're not wide enough. We like really wide top, but we do have Besties mugs.
Thick.
And we have Besties t-shirts.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I left my Besties t-shirt in the UK.
Yeah, she did.
So,
which just proved to us that we need more than one Besties t-shirt.
yeah, we only got one. That is funny.
Why did we even think that would work anyway?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
But
don't know.
anyway, so yeah, definitely. So we're gonna get more t-shirts so that we can
have t-shirts.
have more than one.
So today we were going to talk about how what?
I just think the way this morning is going, that what we're going to talk about is just hilarious to me. But go ahead.
So one of the things we thought would be interesting would be for you guys to know how we have come to be friends for 56 years. It'll be 57 years in January because I'll be 67. Isn't that right? Something like that. Anyway, we were 10. We were both 10.
So, did you say it'll be 67 years because you'll be 67 in January?
No, I mean,
said that's why it was just like slowly computing. I was
it'll
like,
be 57 years because I'll be 67 in January.
Oh.
We've been friends, and there have been some major highlights in our lives over these last 57 years, and we thought we would share a few.
Yeah.
We wrote them down, but I just remembered one.
I remembered one too
that we don't have written down?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if it's the same one. The fact that Alibaba and I were both athletes. We were both really, really good in sports.
Yeah, we were.
And so really good in sports. We played volleyball, basketball, we ran track. We even did gymnastics and gave it up because the basketball coach came and asked us.
They needed us.
They needed us. And this was what grade?
We were
9th grade.
No, we were
7th.
we were at Wilson, so we were sophomores.
No, we played basketball in junior high, I thought.
No, we played basketball in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they needed us.
That was the first year that they were having girls' sports in school, competitive sports in school.
Oh.
And we were sophomores.
Oh, yeah. We were so good.
Not at basketball.
No.
I take that back. I was a great guard. But I couldn't shoot worth beans.
And I could dribble, but I couldn't shoot worth beans either.
And
but
they needed us on
They needed us, and we still ended up 0-8 for the season. But in volleyball and track, we were the shiznit.
We were.
And Alibaba actually, when we were seniors, busted her knee up on the long jump.
No, I busted my knee up on the long jump when we were sophomores.
Was it when we were sophomores?
Yes.
That the last?
It was my first year of running track. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I had my surgery the following year.
So that was it for you?
That was it for me.
Did I go on and?
I don't remember what you did. Didn't mean it like that.
Did I go on to be fabulous? Wow.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about being in your 60s. Your memories are so faulty. I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, we were really good in sports. We played everything. We had our Letterman sweaters.
Yeah. I had a jacket.
She had a jacket. I had a Letterman sweater. I've got a picture of me standing next to that long distance runner, the one I had the crush on.
Harold Sims.
Harold Selms.
Mhm.
I've got a picture of me standing next to Harold Selms in my Letterman sweater.
Yeah. Oh, you did have a crush on him.
I did
But
have
anyway.
a crush on Harold Selms.
Mhm.
He didn't know it though.
No, he didn't know it.
No.
He does now. But yeah, no, that wasn't mine. Mine was, and I don't know if we want to bring it in right now, but we weren't going in any kind of order. Were
No,
we?
no.
Oh, okay. Mine was. Do you remember the time that you came to New York when Al was coaching at the Jets, and I came to the city and spent the weekend with you?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because we didn't have that on the list. And I spent the weekend with you in New York, and we went to the Shark Bar, and you were running around representing one of your artists, going to a meeting or something. You had to drop off a portfolio or something. I did all that with you. I mean, yeah.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, I know.
I do remember us being in New York together. I remember that.
That's what that was.
And I think I was staying in somebody's
You
apartment.
You were.
Somebody let me stay in their apartment in New York.
Yep. And I was right there with you.
Oh my gosh. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was fun.
And we were debutantes together.
Yes, we were.
In Tacoma in the Red Rose Cotillion.
Yeah.
That was a big deal because my grandmother came to me. My grandmother was a seamstress. She made all my clothes. And my grandmother told me, I will do the dresses for your friends, for your three best friends. That was Alibaba, Jan, and Pam, who online is Pamela, what's her name? Last name?
Bevins.
Pamela Bevins.
Janice Smith.
And Arvella Williams. And Gaga made all of our dresses, and they were all completely different. Yep. And we picked them out from European bridal magazines.
Yes.
Because Gaga always had those magazines, all the European magazines. I don't know where she got them, but she always had them around.
Yeah.
And she made our dresses. That was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Pick them out. We were going through there, picking them out. Oh my God. Beautiful. She did beautiful.
And when I moved to California.
No, when I moved to
Yeah, you're right. You're right. When she moved to California, she called me up and said she and Al were moving to California. He'd gotten a job with the USFL football team, LA Express, and did I want to come to LA for the weekend? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll go to LA for the weekend. So I went with them to LA.
She called herself helping us move.
Yeah, exactly. Did I not get off the plane? 9 o'clock in the morning, 75 degrees. I looked up in the sky and said, I'm moving. Alibaba said, oh, Cookie. I said, no, seriously. I am moving. There is no rain. It is not raining. There's sunshine. And by the way, I was born in LA. Queen of Angels Hospital. So I was always an LA girl, but I'm really a Tacoma girl. Yeah. Really a Tacoma girl.
Yeah.
So I end up moving to LA from that weekend.
From that weekend.
I came back the next weekend.
You got a transfer you were with Xerox.
I was with Xerox. I went back. I went to Xerox, and I came back to LA the next weekend. Remember, and interviewed.
Yes. Vaguely. I do remember you coming back.
I got appointments with some of the managers at Xerox in LA. Came back and interviewed, and by the time I got back to Seattle, after that weekend, there were already offer letters for me. And everybody, my manager, Roxanne Joswick, was all upset. But my old manager, Tom Lear, said, don't worry, I got you. And he got me out of that branch, and I moved to LA.
Yeah. And we moved to LA. That was March, April-ish of 83. And that was the reason why Cookie came. And then we left. We were only there for like 8 months. Al got another job with the Houston Oilers. So we left her there.
They did.
We left her there.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So I left LA in 83 to go to Houston Oilers. You left LA. What year did you leave LA? And you moved to Houston.
Oh my gosh.
So weird.
I left LA in 2013 with Stewie.
To go to Houston.
To go to
It's
Houston.
just crazy. That's weird to me.
Yep, because Stewie was in oil and gas, and we won't talk about Stewie though, because this is not his podcast. Because it's not his podcast.
I'm sure he's on though.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So weird. That's so weird. But one of the things that I really love about how we manage to stay friends and how we always manage to find ways to see each other, even though it could have been coast to coast or whatever. But when Al and I lived in Arizona, remember when Al and I lived in Arizona, and Al and I are drivers. We love to, well, we don't anymore, but we used to do a road trip in a minute. And we used to go from Arizona to Seattle because Seattle was home. That's where the boys were, and that's where my mom and, my brothers and sisters were. And so we would drive from Arizona to Seattle. But we would drive from Arizona and we would stop. Our plan was always to stop in LA and spend a day and a night with Cookie and her husband. And so it always ended up 2, maybe 3 nights. We never did the one night, but it was so much fun because we would drive up, and no matter what time Al and I arrived at Cookie's house, I put Al on the couch with Cookie's husband, Michael Ben, on the couch with Michael, and they would sit there and watch Sade videos all night long. Both of them were in love with Sade. And Cookie and I would get in the car and we would head to, what was that mall we used to go to?
The Cerritos Mall, because that's where there was a Nordstrom.
That's where there was a Nordstrom.
And we were Nordstrom shoppers. We were Nordstrom shoppers. We were snotty, and we would only shop at Nordstrom back then. I hadn't even probably learned about Barney's New York and all of that. But yeah, and we would just get in the car, and it was like it was miles away,
yeah, it was
40,
miles.
50 miles away.
Yeah,
we would go to the mall
and spend hours.
Hours.
Then we'd come back home, and the guys would be ready for dinner, and we'd go out to dinner, and that was always such a special time.
Yeah. And I remember one time when you guys came, and I had turned downstairs.
Oh.
Remember, I turned downstairs in the house. I was by myself by then.
Yeah.
I turned it into an apartment, and I was renting it out on Verbo, right?
Yeah.
And I had the bed downstairs. I had bought that sleigh bed, and I had bought that mattress. And Al was the first person, I think, that ever remarked to me how fabulous that mattress was.
We couldn't get him out of the bed.
Couldn't get him out of the bed. Al would just be like, I love this bed. I love this. And I still have that bed to this day.
Yeah, that was perfect because that was a time when we were leaving here to go to St. Louis. And Genesis was with us. And we had the dog, Soleil. And we were stopped. We were going at a time where it would have been snow in the mountains or something like that. So we decided to come through LA and go the longer way to get to St. Louis as opposed to going through all the mountain passes and stuff. So we stayed with you for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then, of course, after I moved to Houston with Stewie, and Stewie and I came here.
Yeah.
Was it Thanksgiving?
It was Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We came here and we stayed at G's.
Yes.
We stayed at G's, and then we came here to hang out with you, and you had 2 other friends here. Oh, we had such a great time. Remember, we went to Pike Place Market.
Gary and Terry were here for Thanksgiving.
We have had such a great time.
Yeah, we had. Yeah.
We have.
And it's so funny because we've always managed, no matter how far apart we were, we've always managed to find some way or whatever to get together. And when we did, it was just always so special. And then even when we talk on the telephone, we could go probably 3, 4, 5 months without talking on the phone. And then you get on the phone and it's like we were together yesterday.
Yeah. And it's always been like that.
Always been like that.
Always been like that. Ride or die.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. Ali Baba and I were talking about this yesterday. There was this time, this weird time when we just weren't talking. Like it wasn't just 6 months. It was over a year, maybe
a couple of years.
Like we hadn't talked. And then when I came here and I moved here with you, and one day I was in the kitchen talking to Al, and and you weren't here.
No, I don't
You weren't here, and I was just sitting there talking to Al, and I said, you know, it was this really weird time. I don't understand. I don't remember. Alibaba and I have never had a fight. We just weren't talking. It was so weird. Like this 2-year period, we weren't talking. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, that was my fault." I said, "What? What are you talking about?" He said, "No, that was my fault." He said, "That was a time in my life. I was young and I was immature in my marriage, and I did not understand your friendship. And it just seemed like it was a lot. And so I realized all I had to do was keep her so busy, she didn't have time for you."
Oh, that's
right?
what he said.
That's what he said. And I was just like, what? He's like, yeah, I just, you know, I'm a grown ass man now. I can admit that. And that's what it was.
Wow.
And then I told Alibaba, and I thought, how many men would have the courage to say that? First of all, to recognize that as a younger man, he had those feelings and he just didn't like it.
Right.
Whatever it was, maybe he couldn't even articulate it, but it just was too much. She and I were just too much together. And I'll just put an end to that, and I'll make her so busy she can't hang out with her bestie.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
And he told me that, and I was like, wow, that's so cool that you said that to me. I really appreciate that, because I always wonder what happened.
Right.
But he doesn't give a shit now. There's Renee.
Hey, Renee.
Renee's the only one I can see, and there are 4 people, but she's the only one I could see.
Huh.
So yeah, that was that.
Yeah. Hey, you guys. Sorry to interrupt you, but if you have a bestie out there, put your bestie's name in the comments and how long you have been besties. And do you do anything special with your besties, to get together with your besties, or to, whether they're local or maybe there's a distance between you? What do you do? Right? What do you do to
stay connected to your bestie?
Yeah.
Because you have to be intentional.
You really do have to be intentional. And we figured that out when she moved here. I mean, how far were you to Browns Point? And we still were acting like she was in LA or Houston or somewhere. We were never getting together. And it was like, what the heck is going on here? We got to do something.
Yeah. So
that we can see each other. I mean, we were so happy that we were going to be in the same state,
right,
same city.
And then I might as well have just been
in LA,
3,000 miles away, because we weren't getting together.
Yeah, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional.
And you know, it's about putting it on the calendar. That's when you're intentional. You put it on the calendar, because if it's not on the calendar, everything else that comes in is a thing and a reason to call your bestie up and say, oh, I can't do it.
Right.
But when you put it on the calendar and somebody asks you, can you do something? You look at your calendar and go, oh no, that's besties.
I have an appointment.
Yeah, I have an appointment. And that appointment is as important to me as anything else.
It's going to the doctors.
Yeah.
I don't cancel my doctor's appointment. Sometimes I want to cancel Cookie, but I can't. You know, and what else is funny is that we live together. A lot of you, some of you may not know that, but we live together, and you've been here, 5 years? And we still get together for our besties, go out to breakfast for our besties.
Yeah. And tell them how we came to live together. How I came to live here. They got this big ass house, like 3,500 square feet. Nobody was in it but her and Al.
Well, we came because Stewie decided to buy a house in the UK, and it didn't make sense to have the 2 houses, and you were going to be going over there every other month. She's been here too long, but every other month. And it just didn't make sense to be paying rent on, because you were renting, and to pay rent on a place that you were going to be there for a month by yourself. And I can't remember, we were talking about something, And Al said, didn't Al
Well, here's what happened. You said, why are you looking for an apartment? Why don't you just come and stay with us?
Did I really say that?
You're like, you're not even here half the time. You're with Stewie half the time. You're here. Why are you going to rent an apartment for a year? You could just come stay with us. We have this big old house. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll think about it. Then I was thinking about something else. And Al called me up.
Mm-hmm.
Al called me up and he said, your bestie wants you here. That's what he said to me. Your bestie wants you here, and you just need to come here because that's what she wants, and that is that. And I was like, okay, okay. And then I moved in,
mm-hmm.
and
it was so funny because when you said yes, things happened at my mom's place, and then Mom was coming to live here. So did you come first or Mom come first?
I came first.
You came first. And then the next month or so,
we went over there to get your mom and unpack that apartment she had.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell them how old your mom is.
Mom is 96 now. And she's been here just as long as Cookie's been here and doing well. And we're happy that they're both here.
Yeah.
And then that was 2019. What happened in 20?
The pandemic.
The pandemic. Now, you guys, there are a lot of people that had a hard time going through that pandemic. And if Cookie had been over at her place, she would have been all by herself.
For 2 years.
For 2 years. Well, we probably would have broke the rules and brought her butt over here in the meantime. But anyway. But we were in this house. And it was like we were in our own little bubble. The four of us. We had each other. And it was like nothing else was going on outside around us. It was just the perfect situation.
And then I was still going to the UK.
Yeah, that's right. You were still going back and forth to the UK.
I was still going back and forth to the UK the whole time. So I'd take off for a month and a half.
Yeah.
And I'd be in the UK. And Stewie was still working offshore, right? Mm-hmm. Stewie was still working offshore. And I'd go to the UK and I'd be with Stewie for 28 days or something. And then Stewie would leave and go back offshore. And I would just stay in the UK by myself for a couple of weeks, hanging out and doing whatever. And then I'd come back here for a month and then I'd go back there. And it was so funny because people were like, well, you can't travel. Evidently you can.
Yeah.
How are you traveling back and forth to the UK? I bought a ticket, got on the plane and flew there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was this assumption people had that you couldn't go anywhere. I went back and forth for 2 years.
Yeah.
Flying back and forth to the UK.
Without the crowds.
There was nobody on the plane.
Yeah.
Nobody on the plane but me. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then now when I go, usually I go, like when I went earlier this year, I went in April to the UK and didn't come back until August.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Now I can't get rid of her.
She ain't trying to get rid of me. If she was trying to get rid of me, I'd have been gone a long time ago. So anyway.
So that's my bestie.
That's my bestie. And you know what one of our favorite things to do is? Go to Costco.
Oh, yeah.
We love to go to Costco's
our
together.
Place. And during the pandemic, that was our vacation. But hey, here's the deal. If you go to Costco with Cookie, you gotta be in the mood to go to Costco. Because you gotta go down every freaking aisle, whether you need it or not.
Except the car aisle. I don't go down the car aisles. I don't need oil.
And I'm surprised she goes down the kitchen aisle. She don't do nothing in the kitchen. I'm like, why are we going? What do we need? Nothing. I'm like, oh my God. Here we go. Oh, Alibaba, this would be so cool for you to use it.
Because Lord knows.
Oh.
The only thing I make in the kitchen are salads.
And I can make a whole meal while she's making a salad.
Cooking is
and
not...
finish before she finishes making that salad. I mean, if it took me that long to make a salad, I wouldn't be in the kitchen either.
I don't know why it takes me so long.
Then she's like, I think I put too much on this salad. She probably got more calories in her salad than I have in my steak meal. Like, oh Lord.
But I don't put store-bought dressing on my salad.
Oh, she doesn't put store-bought dressing on her salad.
Olive oil.
The rest of the kitchen sink is in there, but not store-bought.
Whatever.
All right. How long have we been on? What time is it? Oh,
it's 10:07.
Oh, we haven't been on that. It feels like we've been on forever.
I know, but this is perfect because we only want to be on for half an hour.
Yeah, but we started a little late because of our little
technical difficulties.
And my coffee all over the place.
And your coffee all over the place. Oh, I just love that though, because Alibaba never spills anything.
I do. She's just not around.
I've never seen her spill anything.
Just because I don't have a witness doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Wow. I'm like, Alibaba spilled her coffee. I'll be talking about that for a week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
one of the things we always wanted to say was to share us with your friends. Go ahead.
Follow. Friend, follow, and share us with your friends.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that.
Yeah, friend, follow, and share us with your friends.
Oh, God, that's funny. And as we said, every other week we're going to come in, we're going to do the coffee talk. If there's some topics that you would like to discuss, give us some suggestions. Because as you can see, we can talk about almost anything.
Yeah, we can.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a few
heady
topics.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to be bringing up here in the next few weeks. But we wanted to start this one just kind of sharing with you guys how we met, which we don't really remember, but everything that's happened since we met.
We do remember how we met. We met at the YWCA for summer program.
Oh, that's right.
It was a summer program where the parents could drop their kids off, and we spent the whole day at the YWCA, and we had little classes. We had swimming lessons because that's where we learned how to swim together. And we had swimming lessons. We did little field trips. I mean, it was a day program.
Oh, that's right.
how we met.
Okay, and this broadcast with what we did. End this broadcast with, yes, we met at the Y. Yes, we took swimming lessons. And the day we were walking home and we were hungry and went to McDonald's.
And there was probably 5 or 6 of us. There was probably 5 or 6 of us, 10-year-olds. And we were really hungry. So we were walking home and we were trying to figure out, nobody had any money. So how are we going to get some money so we can go to McDonald's? So what we did was we started knocking on doors and collecting money for the Y. We were collecting donations for the Y. And so we collected enough money for the 5 of us, however many were in the group. We all went to McDonald's, got a quarter pounder with cheese, fries, and a shake. But one of the doors that we did knock on was a member of the YWCA. And she was just so thrilled that all these little girls were out collecting money for the Y. She gave us a donation. We saved her donation, took it back to our counselor, and told her we met somebody on our way home and got in a conversation with them, and they wanted to give a donation to the Y. So here's their money.
Because we were afraid if we didn't give that lady's money to the Y, they were going to find out we were collecting money and went to McDonald's with it. So that is, yeah. Mischief. We were up to some mischief.
Oh, yeah. So that was good. That was good.
So everybody, thank you for tuning in today for Coffee with the Besties in the Besties Breakfast Club.
Yes. And that's it.
And I guess that's it.
So we're going to sign off now.
And you guys have a great day, and join us next Monday
Yes.
when we are going to another restaurant.
Mhm.
I don't remember what it is, but we'll let you know how we like it, how the food is, how the service is, and we'll meet you in our car.
We'll meet you in the car.
Okay.
All right. Besties, signing
Signing
off.
off. Bye.
In video.